Streaming. What's up, everyone? Feels like I haven't been on in a while. It's Saturday afternoon. We're going to talk some Steely Dan today. Before we get started, though, I have my first post Beato book release discount today, and it's a discount on both my Beato book and ear training program. And it's $79 for the Beato book interactive. That's my new video, audio. All the examples are in audio or video form. It's been way expanded. Everything has been rewritten in the book. Started it from scratch. It took 2 years to do that. You can get it on beatobook.com. And my ear training program, I've discounted to the same price, $79, which is like $120 off, because you should really get both of them so that you can do what I'm going to do here when I'm figure out some of these songs on the fly, hopefully, and I won't make too many mistakes. We're going to talk some Steely Dan. I was talking with Aaron earlier today about Steely Dan. It's been 50 years since their first record came out, Can't Buy a Thrill, 1972. So they did Can't Buy a Thrill 72, Countdown to Ecstasy 73, Pretzel Logic 74, Katie Lied 75, Royal Scam 76, Asia 77, and then 1980 was Gaucho. But really, from 72 to 77, in a 5-year period, their sound changed pretty dramatically. But why is that, and how did it change? That's what I want to talk about. But before I talk about that, I want to announce again, because a lot of people didn't see this, I have 3 live shows coming up starting in about 1 month. There's a show in Chicago on the 22nd of next month of July at the Park West Theater. You can get your tickets in the description below. Then I'm playing the Neptune Theater in Seattle on the 6th of August. And I have some great stuff planned during that week I'm there. I have some interviews with some of my favorite bands. Maybe one starts with the word Nirvana. Some people from that band. Some people from a band that sounds kind of like Soundgarden. And somebody from a band like Pearl Jam. Anyways, I'm really excited about that. So that's going to be part of videos that'll be coming out the next week after the show. But come to the show if you live in Seattle or around there. It's going to be a big... Anybody that's seen the thing about my shows, I'm going to do a couple What Makes a Song Great. I'm going to talk to the audience and take questions, play guitar. It's a really fun night. It's just like a live video of me, or it's a live event. It's not going to be streamed because I'm going to play songs that I can't do on here. Okay. And then on the 20th of August at the Wilshire Ebel Theater in Los Angeles, I will be there. So hopefully you guys can make one or more of the shows. Okay, so let's talk about this Steely Dan. So this is really interesting. So if you go to Spotify and you look up the rankings, this is one of the only reasons that I like Spotify over Apple, is that they do give you a view count rating. Okay, so you can see what the most popular songs are. And the 3 most popular songs are actually from their first record, Can't Buy a Thrill, which came out in 1972, so 50 years ago. And their most popular song is this. You all know this. That's Reelin in the Years. With Elliot Randall on the guitar. Classic guitar solo, right? Oh.
Your everlasting summer, you can see it fading fast. So you
okay,
grab a piece of something
listen to the
that you think
chords.
is gonna last. Well, you wouldn't even know a diamond if you held it in your hand. The things you think are precious.
Okay, so let's just talk about kind of the chord structures that they wrote songs off of. Steely Dan was a rock band. The guys that played on the record, there's the alternate singer on one of the songs. Donald Fagen sings all the songs but two on this record. There's David Palmer sings two of the songs, Dirty Work, which happens to be the third most popular Steely Dan song on Spotify. But Reelin' in the Air, so it starts at it's just G, right? G and A. Then the da 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 da. So it's D, A over C sharp, B minor, A, na na na, da 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 da. So it's a lot of major chords. There's a diminished chord in there. Da, 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 da. But pretty straight ahead chords, major minor chords with some inverted chords, right? That's pretty much the song. And then the you guys all know that. You all know that guitar riff. You know the guitar solo. Let me play another tune off there. This is one of my favorite ones on there. This is called Midnight Cruiser.
Felonious, my old friend. Step on in and let me shake your hand.
A lot of sus2s there to major.
You're here again for one more time. Let your madness run with mine. Streets still unseen, we'll find somehow. No time is better than now. Tell me, where are you driving? Midnight cruiser. Where is your bounty of fortune and fame?
Okay, so let's talk about this. I love this song. It's got a beautiful melody. Thelonious, my old friend, and step on in and let me shake your hand. Is that the words? So glad that you're here again. Na, 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 do, 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 do. Na, 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 na. And then the chorus is just all major chords. Where are you driving, midnight cruiser? Na, 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 na. Right? Really simple harmonically. Major minor chords. Still really interesting. Really beautiful, kind of melancholy melodies. I love this.
I am another gentleman loser. Drive me to Harlem or somewhere to say.
And there's great solo fills here. And then you have this song, Dirty Work, okay? These are rock songs, right? This isn't the Steely Dan of Asia, not even close. This is the one with David Palmer singing. You'll notice it's not
Times are hard. You're
Donald Fagen.
to pay the fee, so you find yourself somebody who can do the job for free.
Beautiful.
When you need a bit
Okay,
of
so-
loving, 'cause your man is out of
Oh, I
town.
love it.
That's the time you get me running, and you know I'll be around.
No weird dominant chords, really.
I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh yeah.
Kind of a little swing to that.
Your dirty work. No.
So the deal was that, from what I know, is that Becker and Fagen were signed as songwriters, and that they wrote these songs. I don't even think, I'm not sure about this, that they were even signed to a record deal at the time. I think that they recorded these collection of songs and they released them as songwriters, and that's why they had. And I think that Donald Fagen was not sure about being a lead singer at the time or was nervous or something. That's why they had this different singer, just on two tracks, and that's pretty much all. After that, Donald Fagen was did all of his own singing. So you can hear these things. This is really the style of what was going on in the 70s then. More of a rock, pop, a lot of add nine, a lot of major minor chords, add nine chords, a couple modulations and things, but you still see those, the interesting, very common in the 70s. Now, obviously, you got B flat, F over A to G major. That's a modulation there. It's a key change. It grabs your ear. And then they go G minor, C, G minor. Then the F to G major there. It's cool, but it's nothing like what was to come later on. Now, let's move ahead one record, Countdown to Ecstasy, which came out in 73. This is Bodhisattva. Now, you guys know this song. And by the way, I didn't even play probably one of the actual second biggest song, which is, I'll play it right now, the second biggest song on that Steely Dan has on Spotify. No, wait, hold on. Is the first track on the record, which is Do It Again, which has basically like as they drag you by your feet, but the hangman isn't hanging. It's basically like kind of like a minor blues, right? Then, but not jazzy at all. It's not really jazzy. Denny Diaz's solo is absolutely phenomenal. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to the solo just first. There's a little detour here. Oh. This is an electric sitar. So this is a guitar that has the strings buzzed so it sounds like a sitar. But listen to his solo. It's so good. No one plays like him. This is great. Then he turns it. Wow. Right here. So good. Then this. Love this. I've never heard anyone play that lick. Oh, it's so good. I can't even sing it. It's so grooving. Right here. Woo! Smokin' Tune. One of the best songs ever. Love that song. Do It Again. Amazing. Okay, on the first record. Then second record, Countdown to Ecstasy, has Bodhisattva, right? Basically a blues, right? I mean, you can kind of hear a little bit of you can kind of hear a little bit of the sound of, that's like rockabilly, though. But it's still not the jazzy Steely Dan with the dominant chords. We'll get to that. So Countdown to Ecstasy has that, has Showbiz Kids on it, which is another great track, this track. Another groove tune, kind of, in the Do It Again mold, right? Has that one chord vamp. Then we get to the third record, Pretzel Logic, which came out in 1974. Now, the first single is the first track on the record, which you all know. everybody knows Ricky Don't Lose That Number, right? But look at the chords.
We hear you're leaving, that's okay. I thought our little wild time had just begun.
Then they go, here, listen. Oh, I love
I
it.
guess you kind of scared yourself. You turn and run. But if you have a change of heart, Ricky, don't lose that number.
Now,
You don't
other than that one
nobody else.
lead-in lick to the chorus, a lot of add 9 chords, right?
To yourself.
A lot of major minors.
Ricky, don't lose that number.
Still has like a bossa feel,
Only one you want.
but
You might use it if you feel better. When you get home.
it's a bossa nova. So it has that jazz element to it, but it's not. It still is harmonically a rock song. So they didn't really change their style yet, right? Even if you go through, let's see, there were some things, Night by Night, which has a great intro. You can start to see some of these things sneak in a little bit.
It's a Vegas lie, said the Queen of Spain, but don't tell it to a poor man. 'Cause he's got to kill for every thrill.
It's still a vamp song, you know? It's not.
Everywhere
Great changes,
around
though.
me, I see jealousy and mayhem.
I love this.
Because no man have all their peace of mind to carry them.
Now, these things, like, how do you figure these things out, right? If you go back to this, Ricky Don't Lose That Number, right? Na, 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 na. So right there is a key change. Right, that D flat major to B major to D major. How do you figure these things out? Like what? Let's just talk about that real fast. When I'm listening to these things, I'm listening to the root movement, and I'm listening to the chord quality. Right. I always come back and talk about these things on here when I'm doing live streams. I'm talking about theory. It's the vocabulary of recognized sounds, right? These are the things you develop. This is what with my ear training program that I drill constantly, is to start with intervals. So you recognize the relationship from one note to the next. So when it's going boom, bum, 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 you notice that, that's a fifth interval, for example, right? And then you go into things like triads and you recognize those. So if you can recognize triads, those are major triads. Let's see, that's a D major, and I can hear that it moves down a fourth to A and down another fourth to E. And then you hear it move down a minor third from E to D flat major, and then down a whole step to B major, down a major second, right? So this is why if you get my ear training program, which by the way is on sale for $79 today, which is $120 off. Actually, this is a great day to get my Beato book and that, both on sale for $79. My interactive Beato book, which just came out. And by the way, for those of you that haven't upgraded, here's my ad that I do on the video. If you haven't upgraded, you can still fill out the upgrade link. And if you bought any version of the Beato book, there's an upgrade link to follow. Okay, so just go to the website, beatobook.com, and you can find it on there. And there's people on here. I want to remind you, I already said it once about my new live shows coming up. Chicago at Park West on the 22nd of next month, 22nd of July. Get your tickets now. I might be making a appearance at one of the big music stores there. I actually probably going to show up, go over to Chicago Music Exchange. I've never been over there actually before. I love going to music stores when I go to new towns. I'm going to be in Seattle on the 6th of September of 6th of August at the Neptune Theater, and I have some big interviews, 2 big interviews planned while I'm in Seattle with 4 different musicians from huge bands that I've never met before, which I'm really excited about. And then in LA on the 20th of August, get your tickets now while you can. People are asking me about other dates. Am I going to Sweden? I don't know, and I'm not saying this to be coy. I don't know if I will ever do any more dates after this. This is an experiment to see. I did one day in New York. It was really fun. I did a What Makes a Song Great. And in this things, I'm going to do a couple What Makes a Song Great. I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to talk to the audience. I may have special guests depending on what, at the shows. We'll see. But these will be fun. It'll be like a live, it'd be like kind of hanging out with me here, but live, right? Where we'll talk about music. I'll play stuff. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. It's going to be great. I'll play solo tracks of things that I can't play on here. All the blockers. I call it Rick Beato unedited. It's really Rick Beato with no blockers. Okay, let's get back to this Pretzel Logic. So I played Night by Night. Any major dude will tell you. Now you hear this, right? Hold on, let me get into the song a little bit.
Together again. When the demon is at your door, in the morning it won't be there no more.
You can kind of.
Any major dude will tell you.
It's still not the.
Any major dude will tell you.
It's still not the Steely Dan that you think of with the mu chords, right? You know what the mu chords are? The mu chord, this is this thing that people always talk about, right? Those are the mu chords are really just chordal voicings. So those type sounds, what is it? Like in Josie, they have all those different kind of chords, those major add 9 chords, dominant 7 sharp 9, major add 9 chords, and then that's really the Steely Dan. That when people think of Steely Dan, I think a lot of people think of Asia, but Asia was really an anomaly. And I'll tell you why. I talked to a friend of mine that was actually just before I got on here. I called one of my buddies. I'm not going to say who it is, but he was at some of these sessions. He was at the Asia sessions. He was at some of the other Steely Dan sessions, actually there when they recorded some of these songs, a bunch of these famous songs. So he kind of told me what was going on at the time and why. We'll talk about that. I want to get to Royal Scam here. You guys know Don't Take Me Alive. Larry Carlton, absolutely brilliant intro solo. Amazing. Right here. Oh. Okay. When I heard that was the first year that I played the guitar, 1976. And I met this guy, Andy, this drummer, Andy Carini, and Andy and I we met at this music store, and Andy asked me if I wanted to play in a band. And I had just started playing guitar. And our first demo tape, I probably mentioned this before, but he gave me 9 songs to learn, including Don't Take Me Alive. That was one of them. And I'll never forget when I came in, and his brother, who was a really good guitar player, I came in to play at Andy's house. And I played the intro to Don't Take Me Alive, and his brother's like, how did you learn that? I said, I just picked it up off the tape. It was like that. That was one of them. One of the songs that we learned was Long Distance Runaround. I can't really play it up. Can't really play it on this guitar. But yes, it was all these really extremely hard songs that Andy wanted me to learn when I had been playing guitar for about 6 months or so, right? But I learned that Don't Take Me Alive solo. I couldn't play the fast lick at the end that Larry plays. This thing here, I still can't. Right here. Right here. Oh! Listen to it again. Listen. That is so clean. That is really amazing. Larry was so good. And that's a walk in the park for him. He was killing it then, right? So Larry is on Don't Take Me Alive, and then obviously Kid Charlemagne. The other tune off that record that I talked about with Bernard Purdie, who he plays on his Green Earrings. This is where you start hearing that sound. You heard it right there. Listen. Hold on. It was funny when Bernard was listening to this. Oh, I think that's Chuck Rainey on bass. Oh!
Flies on me.
Now, okay, it has this. It still is not. It's still not that kind of fusiony sound yet that you hear on Asia, but it's starting to develop there. You heard it. Down, 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 bum, bum. What a groove, though. And Bernard plays the most killer groove hi-hat fill. If you haven't watched my Bernard Purdie interview, I talked to him about this record. He played drums on all but one track on this. And obviously he played the Purdie Shuffle on Home at Last, and he played it on Babylon, and I think it's on Babylon. Yeah, Babylon Sisters he plays it on. So that's, you start to hear inklings of that. And here's his hi-hat fill that's so ridiculous. Listen to those drums. He does this hi-hat thing. Oh, now I have to say this. One of my biggest thrills having been on this channel, I mean, I've gotten to interview Larry Carlton, Robin Ford, Sting, Pat Metheny. When I interviewed Bernard Purdie, and what I didn't do with those guys is I didn't play their songs for them to get their reaction, because it didn't occur to me. And I'm going to do this later on. I will play songs for some of the interviews that I have coming up. I want to play their songs and have them play their parts, right? Whatever it is, and talk about it. But I want to see their reaction when they listen to it. So when I played this for Bernard, he starts playing to the track. It's amazing, right? And then we talked about that hi-hat fill, but that's which he does on. It's on one of the Aretha Franklin songs. He does it on in the bridge. I don't know if I could play it on here, But oh, and by the way, thank you all the super chats that are coming in here. Dana, Saget Master 4, you guys are amazing. Who else on here? Anthony, you're not a musician, but never miss one of your breakdowns. Plus, my personality is off the charts. My wife would probably agree with that, but probably not in a positive way. I'm kidding. My wife is amazing. So she'd probably say, yeah, that's one way to put it. Okay, so then in 77, this is a really short time span. So you get Don't Take Me Alive, Green Earrings, Kid Charlemagne. I've talked about that till the cows come home, right? You guys are bored with Kid Charlemagne. And I'm going to say one more time that $79 for my ear training course, right? You want to be able to figure these songs out like I'm figuring them out or refiguring them out, right? As I'm listening to them, it's $120 off. Get my ear training course. I haven't done a sale on the ear training course in 3 months, I think it is now, because I've done very few live streams. And my new Beato book interactive, which has videos, has video lectures, it has audio examples of everything in it, has video explanations of stuff along with tab and everything. And it's really the next level of book. When I wrote the book in 1989, I never imagined that in the future, how many years is that? 89 to now, 33 years? Is that right? In the future, that this book that was handwritten for my students at the time, 325 pages back then, it's way over 500 pages now, that they were going to invent this thing called the internet, then YouTube, and I was going to be a recording engineer and then a video producer, and make my own videos and have Billy put the tab in and do all this other stuff. And Billy's sitting right back here. The idea that there was going to be this technology in the future and then be able to put it out on a channel with 3 million subscribers. And by the way, thank you all for the 3 million. I don't think I've thanked people on that. You guys are amazing. Thank you for that, for being here, for all that. And Douglas, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that, the super chat. But I never thought there'd be the technology to do this stuff. Who could have imagined this back then? We didn't even use tab back then. Well, I didn't use tab. But the fact that you can actually play the examples, hear what they sound like, and I've rewritten. Anybody that's gotten any version of the book before, get the upgrade. Go to beatobook.com, get the upgrade, okay? There's an upgrade link. You can still upgrade on it. Any version of the Beato book, right? I want people to learn from this. I've rewritten all the examples in it because I've learned stuff as I've been, progressing as a teacher over the last 6 years of my channel. Same with my ear training course here. When we get to Asia, right, we have just a different kind of vibe here. Okay, so Asia starts out like this, but then okay, so what I heard about this from my inside source is that Donald always wanted to write songs like this with all these super cool chord changes, right? And beautiful melodies like this, different kinds of melodies. And he was at a point where they were famous enough that he could do whatever he wanted. And of course, this song has the Steve Gadd drum part that's so ridiculous. I made a whole video on this. It's Wayne Shorter and Steve Gadd. I think this was the second drummer or third drummer that they had play this. Oh. Okay, so this chord is hard. You can't really play it on guitar because I can't get the D in that chord. But I'm going to get up. People think I'm in front of a green screen, but my piano's not working here. But I'm going to go over here to the piano. You can't see me, but we got this. So that's like a B, F sharp, A, C sharp, D, E is the voicing. I'm going to say it one more time from low to high. B, and B, F sharp, and then in the right hand, A, C sharp, D, E. So it's an A add 4, A major add 4, and it's got that B5 in the bass, right? B and F sharp. My ear training course teaches you to hear these kind of sounds. Major add 4s are part of one of the chapters. After we move from learning how to hear major and minor triads, suspended triads, sus2 triads, sus4 triads, Lydian triads, all this kind of stuff, diminished, augmented, then we go into added note chords, which is like add 4s, add 2s, or add 9 chords, right? That would be a C add 9 would be C, E, G with an added D in there. Okay, so a lot of these chords in the early songs that I played from the early records have a lot of add 9 chords here. But they started making the voicings more stark in some of these songs. And they started using a much more advanced vocabulary of voicings here. And I did a video on Josie here. It's called The Weirdest Intro of All Time, which this is. So those kind of chords, the chords at the beginning of Josie, I go through a breakdown. Of that entire part, how all those chords work, and then I go through the whole song and I talk about the harmonic structure of the whole thing, and then how the melody works with it, because it's really absolutely brilliant. Far more sophisticated than the earlier songs in some ways. Okay, but it's a totally different harmonic language that Donald wanted to do, that he wanted to use earlier on. And this is why he brought in all the fusion guys like Larry Carlton or the fusion drummers, all the jazz people that came in, Tom Scott, all the people that played on those records. You start bringing them in because those guys were jazz guys too. Larry Carlton is a phenomenal jazz guitar player, right? So Michael Omardian is the piano player on Asia, and jazz guys play those kind of voicings. That A add 4 over B, right? Anyhow, so this is why the vocabulary changed. It's actually because Donald had always wanted to do those things, and it wasn't until that time period, until the Asia record, that he was successful enough that he could do whatever he wanted to do. And that's really that's from what I heard from someone that actually was at these sessions, told me that's kind of why he evolved. He wanted to do it sooner, but he was having hit songs, right? And he was a master of writing hit songs like Ricky, Don't Lose That Number. That's Have Simple or Reel in the Ears. You know. Those are the kind of things that you should be able to just hear and figure out. Once again, this is the thing that ear training helps you with. It's like you hear that and you're like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I can hear that descending progression. Bum, 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 bum. You can hear it's chromatic. All you got to do is hear the colors and just have a reference tone. You hear those, whether it's major or minor, diminished or augmented, diminished chord in that song in the second phrase, second chord. Anyhow, this is why and how their sound changed over the years, right? And it's a short period of time. Then Gaucho was basically a record that I think were songs that didn't make some of the other records that were put together to base. I don't know if this is true, but from what I heard, so that Donald could get out of his contract. That was kind of put together record of essentially B-sides that didn't make the other records. Nowadays, those things would be on Spotify as part of a record, right? Okay, so I want to say, well, there's 2,500 people on here. I have a show in Chicago. If you live in Chicago or in the area, come to it. It's on the 22nd of next month at the Park. What's it called? The Park Theater? I just wrote it down here. At the Park West in Chicago. Okay, I'm gonna do it like a 2-hour show. Answer questions from the audience. Do breakdowns on 2 songs that you can't hear on here. It's going to be a great, great night. If you're in Seattle or anywhere in the area, on August 6th, I'm doing a show at the Neptune Theater. And like I said, I'm doing some really big interviews while I'm there. I'm very psyched about this. Really psyched about it. And then in LA, where I just came back from, I was at NAMM a few weeks ago. Billy, was it 3 weeks ago, NAMM?
Yeah,
About 3 weeks ago. I'll be at the Wilshire Ebel Theater on the 20th of August. Please come out, hang out, talk. Let's meet, ask questions, whatever. You guys are amazing. Don't forget, Beato Book Interactive, $79. And my ear training course, $79. Is $120 off. You guys are the best. Thank you all for the super chats. Boom. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye.